What's up, floaters? It's your resident cross sheep exterminator, Shark Moms here, and today I'm bringing you a deck profile on a Metalfoes deck that I ended up getting second place with at a case tournament, 5-1 in Swiss, and then made it all the way from top 8 to the final 2 where we lost. I'm going to give you the deck profile first, then go over some of the tournament matches and what happened and what my thoughts are on the deck moving forward, and yeah, that's pretty much it, so let's hop right into the deck profile. Sorry to interrupt, guys. I promise the deck list will start here in a moment, but I just wanted to interrupt that to tell you that a lot more people are watching the videos, almost 1,000 views, or more than 1,000 views in the last 2, but we're only gaining a certain amount of subscribers, so I thought I'd give y'all some incentive. This is Sword Soul Moye. If the glare would stop hitting it, Sword Soul Moye. And more lately, it looks delicious to me. Doesn't it look delicious, Richard?
I think it looks delicious.
So, if we can hit 1,000 subscribers, which is not that big of a ask, 1,000 people are watching the videos. If everyone subscribed at 1,000 subscribers, I will eat on camera this Sword Soul Moye. And I'll let Richard season it with nothing. But make sure to hit the subscribe button. Now back to the deck list.
Shark Moms, XIXIX.
Hey guys, hopping right into the deck. We're actually playing 40 main deck. I would say almost every list I've seen online is playing more than 40 cards, and I think that is a terribly bad decision based upon the way the deck wants to play and the most optimal way the deck plays. And so I cut it down to 40, and there's some weird choices because we're cutting it down to 40, but at the end of the day it was very consistent, and I was hitting the plays I wanted to hit more consistently because of that. But with that being said, I'll go ahead and get straight into the main deck. For normal Metalfoes monsters, I played 3 Gold Driver and 3 Vol Flame. This is the only 2 I maxed out on 3. The reason Vol Flame, even though it's not your normal summon, is because you want to see the level 7 more than anything, and drawing it is really nice. So played 3 of that. Then I only played 2 Silvered and 2 Steelin. I felt like this was enough names of the normals to be able to hit the normal ones when I wanted to, and make the plays that I wanted to make happen. I then played 3 Bismugear because of resolving this effect to search Vanisher in phase is a really big deal, and we do play Vanisher. And then 3 Melcaster. 1 because this is just a really good resource card, plus it's a 7 with Vol Flame to go and stuff in the extra deck. And then just 1 Vanisher. Because you don't want to draw it, you just want it to be your Bismugear search at in phase to combo you off on your opponent's turn. Then the reason to play the deck, and part of the reason I'm playing it now as opposed to having been wanting to play it, is the 3 Magician Souls. This card being so much cheaper is big. This deck does not work if you don't play this card, which is weird because you can buy this whole stack of cards for less than $5, including extra deck stuff, but because of this deck is expensive and has been for a while. So, but yeah, this is the engine that runs the deck. If you don't know what it does, you send 2 Spell Trap cards to draw 2 cards, and this deck, it's literally a +4 because it doesn't even use the body. So you still have the body on board, you draw 2 cards, and then you search 2 cards. To amp our chances of seeing Magician Souls, we play 3 Abductor. Obviously, playing or activating Pendulum scales counts as activating spells, so it's really easy to hit 3 spell counters on this and search out Magician Souls to get you started. Partly for Magician Souls targets and partly because they're just decent cards, I play 1 Jackal King and 1 Cerebus. Some people are playing the Endymion level 7 or 8 Pendulum monster. I think that's too many. You're never going to see this, and I play ways to cycle these back anyway, so Magician Souls should always be live. Then I play the Scout and the Monolith to search out the Scout. This gives you access to Cyber Dragon Infinity out of the extra deck. It also is searchable with Summoner's Art, which we play. So it's just a good little engine to run. Very powerful. I play 3 Balbaboon. This is my only other normal summon. This and Abductor are the only 2 normal summons in the deck. This just helps you cycle for Magician Soul so well, and then also puts 2 monsters on the field to go into IP Masquerena, which is a big part of the combo of the deck. Then I play 3 Summoner's Art, not once per turn, searches both Vol Flame and it searches Cleafort Scout, so just very strong. And then I'm going to show you the all the Metalfoes cards we're playing for targets. So 2 combination. This is the main thing you want to search off of the Metalfoes cards to then use for Magician Souls. I see some people cutting to one of this and playing Metalfoes Fusion and Metalfoes Combination, and these being your 2 searches. The only problem is you want to search this later, and I know you can shuffle back in to search later, but then you've used the draw card. So if you put 2 of these in your deck, yeah, it ups you 1 brick, but then it gets you deeper in your deck later because you're going to search this and activate this anyways. And then one of the Metalfoes Fusion, this card's super good. The only thing I'm hesitant about this list is sometimes I wanted the quick play spell, but it didn't come up enough that I would want to hurt the consistency going to 41. Maybe I should just play 41, but I really liked having 40, seeing Magician Souls. And then one thing, this is the card, best card of the deck. You see my beautiful mixed rarity, so if you want to hit that dislike button now, nobody can tell that you're disliking it anyway, so go ahead and dislike the video if you want to. But this is the best card in the deck. I see a lot of people side decking this in Metalfoes, but this card is absolutely insane, and it's insane for one reason, and I mean, I'll just go ahead and spoiler from the extra deck. This is 1 Metalfoes monster and 2 monsters with 3,000 or less attack. Every single relevant card in the game right now, for the most part, every single relevant card in the game has less than 3,000 attack. They can't respond to a super poly. If you end on this, you win the game. If they pass turn with this in your hand, you pretty much win the game. And so I see people side decking this or not playing it at all. That's crazy. This is the best reason. This is the most obvious reason to play the deck. It came up. This is the sole reason we won the event. Main decking this, absolutely absurd. Then for the rest of the extra deck, you play 2 Mithrilium. I don't think you need 3. Some people play 3. You can cycle back 1 with the second one's effect, so you can kind of go infinite with them. I think that's enough. And then I play 1 Alcest. Some people don't play this at all. When this card came out, I thought it was bonkers. I still think this card's bonkers. Yeah, there's different options and stuff that are better in the game, but for Metalfoes, that card is still very good. Then I play IP Masquerena, and then Phoenix and Unicorn are kind of the targets for IP Masquerena. The reason this is such a broken combo is you search Vanisher at end phase, then using a Mithrilium you summoned with IP Masquerena, you go into one of these 2, discard for cost the Vanisher, it doesn't matter what the chain links are. So Mithrilium will reborn a Metalfoes monster. You can target Vanisher in your graveyard. It'll reborn back, banish a card, and then you'll still resolve the effects of whichever of these 2 you summon. So you get a banish and the pop or the shuffle. It's very, very strong. And then Metalfoes Vanisher is not a small body on board, so very strong. Then I play Absolute Dragon to go with Vortex. These are why you want to hit 7s, because this card is absurd, and it's a free card off this, and plus you get to set the Metalfoes card once you search it or whatever. And then I play the Nova with the Infinity, for obvious reason with Cleave for it's just setting you up more negates. And then I play 1 Cross Sheep. I think I went into this once the whole tournament, but it can come up. It's definitely certain times when you get hand trapped and right times, you'll only be able to go fusion, and you're not going to set up IP plays, so you kind of just want to get more card advantage. Link Spider to climb into different link plays and stuff, and then get rid of your normal monsters, and then Selene to come off, and then Appaloosa. I cut access code last second. I have a little bit less kill power, but with Super Poly and the 3000 beater, I was always able to kill. But access code, fitting it in somewhere could be a good strategy or idea going forward. Then I'm going to show the side. I know a lot of times the side deck is so event dependent, so it doesn't show too much or whatever, and like people don't want to see it. But what I played is I played 3 Solemn Judgment. One thing with my side deck, the idea behind my side decking was that I knew I couldn't side deck a lot of cards in. I couldn't, like, a lot of decks I play, I'll side like 9 going second cards into my deck. And I couldn't do that with this deck because the list is so tight. Like, I can't even fit hand traps in the main deck. And so I wanted cards that like were high impact, win the duel kind of cards. So Solemn Judgment was the only going first card I really played. I guess some of the spells and stuff could be either way, but Solemn Judgment just wins you the game sometimes, stops Dark Roll and more, stops Evenly Match, which are cards that the combo of this deck loses to. 1 Pankratops, because I think this card is just super good still. High impact going second, can clear a lot of boards. Dimension Shifter, because some decks just lose to this card. The card's absolutely absurd in the matchups where it matters. Same thing with 3 Lancia. Once again, like, in the matchups where I'm siding in D-Shifter or I'm siding in Lancia, they're probably the only cards I'm siding in, but they win you the match if they resolve. So that's why I played those. Triple Twin Twister, because this deck doesn't really care about discarding certain cards. As a matter of fact, sometimes it wants to. And these are clearing up back row and then 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Like, I found like Eldritch / any kind of trap deck was kind of this deck's worst matchup. Because Super Poly makes every other matchup good. So I wanted to increase my odds to beat those decks as effectively as possible. Like, I could have been playing evenly matched, but I just went with Cosmic Cyclone and Twin Twister for this event instead. Actually, really happy with it. This came up multiple times, and like spoilers because I'm gonna go over in a minute. But the Mystic Mind matchup, Twin Twistering the 2 face downs into Cosmic Cycloning the Mystic Mind kind of won me the match. So I was glad I had all of that available to me. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed, and then I'm gonna just move right into like just talking about what I think about the deck going forward and the matchups that we had this weekend. All right, what's up, guys? I just wanted to do like kind of the tournament report of how the tournament went. I already told you Mystic Mind. That was actually the first round. 2-0'd him really easily because of the Twin Twister Cosmic Cyclone. I actually think he went 0-2 drop, so yay. Mystic Mind being punished. Second round we played Lyreless Tri-Brigade. He bricked really bad the second game. We won the die roll, set up our first board. He wasn't able to push through anything. He had Droplet, but it wasn't enough. And then the second game, he literally went like... it was like Nerval, but I almost want to say it wasn't Nerval because he could have gone Amirage, but maybe he wasn't playing Amirage, which just seems bad. But he ended on like 1 trap and then like Faragite or something. Like the hand wasn't good. Or maybe he made a mistake at some point. But he ended up like sitting on Imperm and a generic Link monster that wasn't good, and we just pushed through and won. It wasn't actually even a match. And I think that's the best deck, so I think we kind of got lucky with that one. Round 3 was the loss. That was to Trap Burning Abyss. We got 1 game off of them, but they won the die roll. Set 4 passed. Ice Dragon prisoned me like 3 times. No, it's only once, but it felt like 3 times. We won the time we went first, and then game 3 they set enough up and passed. And so what are you going to do? That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Maybe we should have sided better. Like, maybe I should have had evenly matched our Harpy's Feathers Duster, or Lightning Storm. Like, I don't know. Lightning Storm's kind of weird for me, but for this deck, but possibly could have considered it. Round 4, we 2-1'd Heroes. He won the die roll, but chose to go second. We set up our board. He was able to out a lot of stuff because that deck plays through so many negates. But it wasn't enough, and we pushed back and won on the following turn. And then he chose to go first after siding and flipped Anti-Spell or something like that. It was IO or Anti-Spell and just destroyed us. Like, that card's already oppressive. Pendulums cannot play around either. Like, Anti-Spell is the same as an Imperial Order against Pendulum. So game 3, we just set up full combo, and he just had a bad hand too because like the 2 negates stopped him. So round 5, we played Sword Soul. That's a really easy matchup because you super poly their 2 cards and they have nothing. Like, literally, their end board is usually too strong, but Link or Synchro monsters, and as soon as you super poly into Orichalc, you've won the game. So both matches that I think we lost the die roll. Yeah, we did. We lost the die roll, but it didn't matter because we drew super poly. They set up their monsters. They had Blackout, but you can't respond to super poly. So then Blackout was dead the whole turn, and they couldn't negate anything, and we went through and pushed because Orichalc has 3,000 attack, so he just beats down 2. And then Invoked, we played Invoked in round 6, and we actually won 1-0 in time because we went first and did our full combo, like full combo, which it takes a good bit of time. Like, and I'm trying to play swiftly, and I know where I'm going. He didn't have any interruptions, so I knew where I was getting to. I was just playing through as fast as I could, but it took my turn took about 18 minutes maybe, and then he starts his turn and he's outing my stuff, but not enough, but trying to. So it's taking him a long time to do it as well. Like, he's thinking, man, I could do this and look at his hand, and I'm like, what's he gonna do? Like, trying to be reasonable. I didn't think he was slow playing. It just maybe could have gone faster, and he was able to out some, but not enough, and then we ended up winning the game. And then we started, and there's 3 minutes left, and he doesn't have any way to burn me, so he still picks to go second because it's the only way he's going to deal damage at all, I guess. And we took more than 3 minutes to do our combo. Like once I said, it's 18 minutes for the full one, but even a short one can usually take 5 to 10. So we ended up just winning 1-0 in time. But he seemed okay with it. He didn't seem mad. I think he still got it as a top cut, but he must have lost because we didn't play him again. In top cut, we actually played Dino Mist, the first cut. So a Dino Mist player or whatever. I think people just weren't expecting it or whatever. So 2 Pendulums in top cut, yay. But it was absurdly free. Like he was choosing to go second. He just couldn't play through all our negates. We just have way too much interaction for a deck that's setting up scales. Like Unicorn plus Vanisher for both scales is just way too strong. So that one was really easy. And then top 4, we got a revenge against Trap Burning Abyss. And that kind of sucked. Or felt good for us, sucked for him. I'm like trying to think and also talk. But that was good. We got a revenge. But the one game he super bricked. We won the die roll this time finally. And won game 1 because he wasn't able to set enough or do enough to push through our negates. But game 2, he literally went like Red Eyes Fusion set 1. So I think he must have been on multiple Red Eyes Fusions or something, but he was still playing Red Eyes Fusion and whatever. And he used the negate early, and the trap was something bad. I can't remember what it was, like Fiend Griefing or something. But the trap wasn't very good, so we were able to take that one easily. And then we lost in the finals to the Sword Soul player that we had already beaten in the tournament. After me saying it was such an easy matchup, but we didn't draw Super Poly, and we just, oh man. Game 2, he 2-0'd us. Game 1, he goes first, and we didn't draw Super Poly, and our hand was a bit clunky, and we didn't see Magician Souls either game. And we were able to kind of establish a board, but like I think we pushed through the Baron and everything because he ended on like, you know, Xiaoxi or whatever it's called, Chi and Baron. And we were able to, no, you know what? I think he ended on Berserker and Baron. And the Berserker ended up really hurting us because it banished one of our scales, and then we didn't have enough to play through to even Pendulum summon, and like went into Mithrilium or something like that and bounced one, but then that wasn't enough and he killed us. And then game 2 we went first and we just absolutely bricked. Like it was just awful hand of brick. It was like Monolith, Vanisher, Jackal King. It was not good. And we were not able to do anything. And I literally ended on, I want to say I ended on like IP with a monster pass. And so we had Unicorn, but we had used the Vanisher as part of the summon or something like that. So we literally like Unicorn one thing and then he played through it. And I actually think he impermed the Unicorn or something. No, dropleted the Unicorn. But easy clap. We easily got clapped that game. Ended up getting second place against a guy we'd already beat in a matchup I think is super free, especially if we draw our good cards. We didn't draw Super Poly or Magician Souls either game. So, you know, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! But overall, it's a good tournament. How do I feel about the deck? I think it is good, but I think it can't play hand traps. I think the deck list is too tight. It loses to certain hand traps. Nibiru is super rough. We didn't get nibbed all night, but just in testing, Nibiru hurts super hard. But I think the deck has a place as like a rogue deck for locals having fun or whatever. Would I play it at a big tournament? Probably not. I would probably play a deck that's more proven or whatever. But I do think the deck is good. And clearly, I mean, 5-1 and then getting all the way to second and top cut. It's not a bad deck, but just not at its best place in the meta. But, you know, maybe the best Pendulum deck. You can let Triff at me. Thanks for watching.